Hello again. Well, here we are. And here we aren't. It all lives together like that, doesn't it? The is and the is not, yes? The fact that there is more space between your atoms than matter, yes? Yes. But that's not entirely what we came to speak of. We would like to speak with you today about these powerful, potent energies that are available right at this time. And we would highly recommend that you take as much advantage of it as possible by going into your more quiet, expanded, still places. Most of you have tools to do this and practice regularly. Many of you are just sort of opening that door. Either way, there are many resources, and if you are open to wanting to dive into the deeper pools of consciousness, the universe has a way of dropping these directions on your doorstep or putting those breadcrumbs down for you, whichever metaphor you like. The doorstep is quite much more convenient, yes? So, back to these energies. There is a lot of golden light around your crown chakra these days. There is a lot that wishes to a lot more accelerated energy and a need for greater capacity to hold these energies by expanding particularly your crown chakra wishes to have lots of clearing and openness, and of course the heart chakra, because I would say this is not the driver's seat of this. Maybe you could make an argument for that, but definitely the pivotal and open heart chakra, open heart field is definitely the gateway to all else. That is why when you find yourself in more contracted ways of being and thinking, you, how shall we say, slow up the process of expansion. And again, this is not lost on so many of you. But if you were able to allow yourself to, as quickly as possible, if you're tracking your ways that you're interfacing and the ways that you're feeling, the ways that you're interfacing with the world, people around you, if any, you start to kind of find your way into these more contracted ways, such as judgment of self or another, angry feelings. These are all the things that are anything but love, and all the iterations, whether it's anger, fear, all those things are contracted states of being. And it is always fear, all those contracted ways are just iterations of fear, right? One gets angry or positional when one fears that their present way of being, or perhaps something they desire to happen or wish to have out of an interface is threatened. This is when fear comes in. So what we would say to you is, if you are tracking any of this more contracted, if you find yourself in those contracted places, it is a good invitation, it is a good signal to invite yourself to extract. So when you contract, you need to extract yourself from these situations or people or whatever. Maybe it could even be your relationship with yourself. You hit the pause button, and then you go and find yourself in a situation. It could be outdoors, it could be in a quiet space where you feel safe, where you will allow yourself to just breathe and come back to your most authentic set point, your most congruent, coherent set point, which is another way of saying you're coming back to the place that is more aligned with who you are in the larger frequency, pure frequency that is you. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, why must one do that? Well, for you, it is simple. It is perhaps excuse me one moment. So, why extract yourself, we were saying? Primarily it is because you have lost yourself. If you are in those states of being that are, your heart is closed and you are in how can I say, an egoic version of self, which is sort of, and you'll know this because it's positional, yes? If you're in your egoic mind and not your heart, right? So if you're in an egoic mind, it's the us against them, or I am this and they are that, or this, it's finding, it has polarity in it, yes? And there's a better word for it. It'll come. And so if you are finding yourself in these polarized ways of thinking, I am not that. I am this, and I stand for this, and that one stands for that, whatever. If you find yourself in these ways, that is the egoic mind. Why? Because the egoic mind, it perceives other. And when we are in the heart field, we can feel. When we are in the most expanded, or even just any expanded version of the heart, more expanded than you normally sort of roam around in. If you are in your heart space, it's the easy way to say it. The heart space sees, it is the place where you can feel your connection with other, yes? And then you can feel yourself in other. You can eventually, if one were to become more enlightened, let's say, you would not be doing or saying harmful things to other, because it would be as if you are doing it to yourself. you would feel so one with other. And there is no other in that equation. It is you, all versions, all fractals of the divine. You are a fractal of the divine, and you are having all this interfacing with other fractals of the divine. So your God nature is found in that open, expanded heart space, that of divine neutrality, yes, because you're just feeling the beauty of your connection to everything, every tree, not just people, right? Everything, yes? Some of you have experienced these things when you have done these teacher plants and things like that. And some just thought it was a machination or a way that the plant itself planted things or put some kind of surreal imagery in your brain or made you see certain things. Well, no, it actually is revealing. Most times those helpful plants are revealing the nature of reality as is, yes? But it would be scary for the average human who is very invested in this 3D reality to say, oh, oh gosh, my reality just melted over there and I am seeing that the tree is alive. This is a tree I've had no respect for, or this is an environment here who I didn't always walk too carefully within or coexist too carefully with, yes? And you could hear the water, the consciousness of the water and the elementals and so on and so forth, yes? And there are those of you, we are, as they say, preaching to the choir, yes? Because there are those of you who already, you know this, you have had this experience. And we say to you, this is a beautiful time, a beautiful time for you to check into your expanded heart, open up as deeply and often as possible so that you may hear the voice